I think I'm supposed to speak into this. Welcome to the Clovis Community Band Christmas concert. We call it the Clovis Community Band because it's started out with Clovis and it's ended up, it's Clovis, Bovina, Friona, Muleshoe, Eastern, Cannon. So it's still the Clovis Community Band. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you being here. You ready? And that was the end of the concert. We've done it. Y'all can... Oh, maybe not. Our first piece of music is Christmas Holiday, arranged by John O'Reilly. I didn't look up all the information, so I'll just read it. This sparkling medley of Christmas favorites is sure to please any holiday audience. That's you. The arrangement includes Deck the Halls, Joy to the World, Good King Wenceslas, Jingle Bells, O Come, All You Faithful. Christmas Holiday by John O'Reilly. Our next number I chose specifically for this performance. It's O Holy Night by Adolph Adam, written in the 1880s. I think that's what I read. But the arrangement is by Dean McIntyre, if I'm right, was the music director here for several years. So I thought it'd be nice to play a piece of music that Dean had arranged for you. So this is O Holy Night, arranged by Dean McIntyre. got it, drums? I told the percussion this is probably the first time they've ever had to play in the choir loft. This next number is called Christmas Day. It was composed by Gustav Holst in 1910 for his students at Morley College. Its premiere by the school's chorus and orchestra was so successful that it had to be performed again a few weeks later. Christmas Day is a set of variations on In Dulci Jubilo, better known in the English-speaking world as Good Christian Men Rejoice, with interwoven portions of God Rest Ye Merry, Gentlemen, and the first Noel. So it seems that around this time, one of Holst's favorite contrapuntal devices was to present two familiar tunes simultaneously. A few years earlier, he'd combined sheep shearing song and High Germany in his Somerset Rhapsody. A year later, he would juxtapose the Dargessen and Greensleeves in his second suite in F for military band. I'd sure like to play that. In Christmas Day, he superimposes Come Ye Lofty, Come Ye Lowly, based on an old Britain melody with First Noel to great musical effect. So you have several tunes going on at the same time. Discerning ears will notice this. And those of you that are like me and can't hear a thing, we just get by. Christmas Day by Gustav Holst, arranged by Larry Dane. We have to brag just a little bit. Actually, I have to brag. They just have to put up with it. If you are in the military or have been in the military and in the group, would you stand up? And if you are in the military or have been in the military, would you stand up and let us thank you? Thank you. Now, if you are a band director or, well, now it's legal, he's a band, I have to brag here. Mr. Labastrida, got his name right maybe, just graduated from Eastern, has a job at Clayton, New Mexico as band director, community band director. Give him a hand. So that includes you on this. If you're a band director or have been a band director, how's that? Stand up. Now we'll go another step. Okay. If you are from, let's see, we've got Farwell. Stand up. Farwell. Friona. Bovina. Muleshoe. They didn't show up today. Where are you from? Brian. Okay. Eastern? Eastern? Raise your hand. Portales? There's a few of us from Portales. Cannon? Now the rest of you, would you join them and everybody stand up? Yesterday, the Eastern New Mexico area schools had tryouts for all district band, and our youngest member in the band is a bari sax player. And you're what grade? Seventh grade, and he made all district band. Stand up. Oh, little Katie Mudgett's over here playing flute too. I don't want to miss her. Stand up. And our next youngest band member is Mr. Stan Smith. Would you stand up, Stan? My point, Jim Elise, is you have no excuse to not be in the band. No, age doesn't matter. You play an instrument, we'd love to have you. Our next piece of music, which will be our final one before the break, we have the Asbury.
Now it's my turn. We've all stood here as a band, and Steve talks about us, and we love to play music, but we wouldn't be a band without a band director. So we want to give a special applause and thank you to Steve. We meet basically once a week from 7 to 8:30, and we practice, but there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes. The selection of music, the gathering of people, the constant emails to keep us together. So we wouldn't sound like this if it weren't for our director. And at this point, we also want to encourage anyone else Mike McDaniel as well, to come and join us and meet us with us on Monday nights, because even though this particular platform right now is fairly full, we'd be happy to move to Marshall and do a larger concert and have more space if you want to join us. Because it doesn't matter how young or how old you are. If you're a band musician, then you are a band musician through and through for your entire life. And it's something that once you've played in an ensemble like this, it feels right to be back into it. But at this point, we want to say thank you, Steve, for all your hard work. And as a band, we say thank you, thank you.
There's a few of us that started with the community band back in '78. Still some of us playing. That was Norval getting that started. But you can tell it's sort of catching. There's a flute player right there, ought to be joining us too. And she's not going to look around because she doesn't want people to know I'm talking about her. Valerie, work on her. I'm trying. I know. Her daughter's in the band. Our next number, and then we'll have the Asbury Ringers. They are wonderful people. And then we'll take a 10-minute intermission. So our next number is called Westminster Carol. It's Angels We Have Heard on High, arranged by James L. Jose. Okay, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. where you're at, taking a mission and mission after the building. You're in charge, sir.
Gloves are hopefully down there.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Randy Earth. I finished falling into the grateful position of being in charge of this group. I'm the great reader. Sitting at about 13 or 14 of us, depending on how we feel. And we're based out of our First United Methodist Church. I started ringing the United Methodist, which is why I get hung up sometimes. But as you can see, we're a different group. I don't know how many of you know anything about handbells, but it's very similar, obviously. We're musicians, so we do a lot of musical stuff. But whereas we've got a lot of people with many instruments that are individualized, we are one instrument with many people. So if anything is familiar as far as a piano score goes, think about that, and then take each of those lines, and pick them apart and give it to one person. So that's basically how this works. So we're going to put some pieces together here for you. The first piece we're going to do is called Now Thank We All Our God, which is arranged by Kevin McKinney. second piece that we're getting ready to ring for you is called Sing Ye Masters. It's an arrangement of Masters in the Hall and Sing We Now at Christmas. We've been working really hard on this piece, and as you can see, there's a lot of moving parts, no pun intended here, but this particular piece is quick, it's fast, anyway, it's quick. It's a lot of different techniques that's used and involved with this, and it goes a lot of dynamic changes and stuff like that, so we do everything we can to really, literally milk the emotion out of this piece. So, Sing Ye Masters. Please enjoy.
We'll take a 10-minute break and let them get set up for the next group, and then we'll be back with you for a little bit more fun. So thank you very much for being here. Okay. Okay. I want to play the chord. I want to play the chord. B flat, G, F, D. B flat. Now we'll get everybody in here. Okay? Okay. B flat. Play the chord all together. Ready? Oh, wait a minute. You got the low brass changing seats. This will tell everybody in the audience they need to come in. Okay? Put it all together one time. Okay. B flat, D, F, and B flat. Ready? Together. Go. You're in charge.
All right, we are back. We have shrunk. We are now the Wesleyan Quintet, and we are all basically insane because we like to take pieces that are made for full-size choirs or really complicated, and we decided to try and do it with 4 and 5 people. So this piece here that we've actually been working on for, well, we've been playing it over a period of time that spans by about 3 or 4 years or so, but we've had a variety of different people that have been ringing with us. So this is the Ukrainian Bell Carol. You know it well. This is arranged by Matthew Prinz, who is well known in the handbell world for some crazy arrangements. So I think we're all set. We're all set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're good. All right. Whenever Miss Janet counts us off, we are off, whether we like it or not. Yep.
Give them another round of that's awesome. That's a great job. Every year at Christmas time, the tubas get together and do a tuba Christmas. And if you were in the mall last weekend, or yesterday, you may have heard them. But an arranger for the low brass for us is Mr. Jim Aldrich. He also arranges some of the numbers that we play and the marches and things. He has a few things to say about our next number. Jim?
Thank you. Yeah, Tuba Christmas has been around since 1974 when it honored William Bell, a instructor and musician extraordinaire. How many were at this year, David? Well, I did a quick little band of research before I came up here this afternoon. Tuba Christmas is held every year since 1974. This year it was in over 150 cities in 5 countries worldwide. Every year I have the little task of coming up with a piece of music that the community band is not playing either in a medley or by itself. This year is no exception, and I found one. Goes back quite a long time. It's called the 12 Days of Christmas. The 12 days in the song are the 12 days starting with Christmas Day, or in some traditions, the day after Christmas, December 26th, otherwise known as Boxing Day or St. Stephen's Day, as being the feast day of St. Stephen, proto-martyr, to the day before the Epiphany, or the Feast of the Epiphany, January 6th, or the 12th day. The 12th night is defined by the Oxford English Dictionary as the evening of the 5th of January preceding the 12th day, the eve of the Epiphany, formerly the last day of Christmas festivities and observed as a time of merrymaking. The Epiphany is supposedly the day the wise men arrived to honor the baby Jesus. The best known English version was first printed back in 1780 in a little book intended for children, Mirth Without Mischief. If you want to read it, order it online. I heard it's through Amazon. As a 12th night, quote, memories and forfeits game, in which the leader recited a verse, each of the players repeated the verse, the leader added another verse, and so on until one of the players made a mistake, with the player who erred having to pay a penalty, such as an offering up a kiss or a sweet. The arrangement that I've done today is based off of the 12 Days of Christmas done by the Muppets with singer-songwriter John Denver back in 1979 television special called John Denver and the Muppets, A Christmas Together. It was also featured on the album of the same name. The song has been recorded by the Muppets 5 different times, featuring different Muppets in roles at each time. And there, a lot of the other Christmas carols get a lot of recognition. This one very seldom does, but it has been recorded by Burl Ives, Bing Crosby, with a version done by Jeff Foxworthy, no less. 12 Days of Christmas.
while we're changing places a second, a couple of people I needed to announce. One of the people that didn't get to stand up a while ago, his name is Scott Elliott. He's a Clovis High School graduate, but he came from Richmond, Virginia for Christmas to be with his mom and dad. And Scott, would you stand up? And young Mr. Leslie, just so you know, his wife is out here in the audience, and she directs one of the Army bands, right? Where is she? There she is. Would you stand? And I'm not near the director, you are. But thank you for coming. Okay. Parade of the Bumblings. You just heard the Muppets, so we'll go to the next one, which is the Parade of the Bumbling Wooden Soldiers by David Schaefer. Basically, the music says it all. The trombones like that because they never get to smear like that except on something like that. So, good job, trombones, baritones. That's a super job. Yeah, give them a hand. And we've been real quiet about the percussion because they've been up in the cheap seats. But percussion, good job. Doing a good job back there. Our next number is the Christmas song, Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. Those of you that might be a little bit older might remember Mel Torme singing this. Those of you that don't remember Mel Torme, don't worry about it. us old folks like it. It's okay, all right? Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Now, those of you with musical talent, you've been hit pretty hard about coming and joining us groups. I haven't joined them because I can't do that coordinated well enough I'm doing good to count to 4, so, okay? But if you would like to perform with us or them or the community choir, you don't have to have an instrument, you can use your voice. We're always looking for more people. We happen to meet on Monday nights at the Marshall Band Room at 7 o'clock. We're out by 8:30, pretty close. You know, most band directors, it's, well, let's do that one more time. And about the 5th time he says it, he says, okay, we'll quit now. But usually 7 to 8:30. Our next concert is April, and that will be our dinner concert. We have it out at the Days Inn. They provide a nice, wonderful meal. You have a nice concert. If you're sitting up close, your hair goes blowing all the way back, but that's okay. And the money that, after we paid for the dinner and stuff, the money that we raise goes for scholarships for local students to go to local schools. And we gave out 2 already this year. So we're passing them out. If you have a student that is interested in a scholarship, go to the Community Band Facebook page. ClovisCommunityBand.com. If you have a student that would like some help, we've got a little application that you fill out, and we'd love to give you some money. So keep that in mind. But that's the rest of the time. We give a concert in November, and then this one in April, and in June, then we do one in the summer. It's been the zoo music lately. We perform just outside the zoo, so the animals get to sing along with us. They told us not to scare the lions, but that's the way it is. The other 3 concerts are free. The one for dinner concert, of course, we're paying for a meal. So keep that in mind. The word will come out about when that is. Our last number is called Say Noel. That's C-E-S-T, Noel, which is, it is Christmas in French. I know that because it says that right here. Okay? It is from Andre Jutras, okay? It's based on 3 traditional Christmas songs that are well known throughout Canada, the United States, and is structured in a fast, slow, fast form. Maybe. According to how I'm doing it. Okay? Say Noel. Thank you very much for coming. I'd tell you we had another number, but frankly, I can't do it. I'm tired. So we hope that you will have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Come back next year, come back in April.